Prophecy, prophecy, prophecy. The Bible says in 2 Chronicles 20 verse 20, "Believe in God and you shall be established, and also believe in my prophets and you shall prosper."
To me in parables, and I kept on hearing the noise of people screaming, asking for help, but I don't know what it is. I kept on hearing people screaming, like people are screaming, asking for help. I wonder what could this be that will raise the eyebrows of their head. I wonder, what could this be that will raise the eyebrows of the Americans? Why are people screaming? Why are they asking for help? What is happening? That is our prayer. I have spoken.
A passenger jet carrying 224 people disappeared suddenly from radar over Egypt overnight. It did hit the ground, and recovery crews report everyone on board this plane was killed. According to Egyptian authorities, the pilot did not signal or make any distress or mayday calls. The weather was clear, no storms nearby, and Egypt's government says no signs of terrorism have been found. The plane's flight data recorder and the voice data recorder were recovered. Russia's state-run media reports that most people on board were returning from vacation in the resort town of Sharm el-Sheikh. Victims' remains are being rushed to the morgue, grieving families still waiting in anguish. So far, officials have recovered the remains of at least 130 people.
I wonder, what could this be that will raise the eyebrows of the Americans?
You know, the CNN team across the board has been on this story, and now we know that U.S. intelligence believes it was most likely an explosive device that brought down the plane. I want to read to you exactly what a source told me a short time ago. This U.S. government official saying, quote, "There is a definite feeling it was an explosive device planted in the luggage or somewhere on the plane. The feeling by the U.S. intelligence community is it was ISIS or an ISIS affiliate." This, of course, they believe happened at the Sharm el-Sheikh airport in the Sinai when it took off from there going back to St. Petersburg, Russia.
I wonder, what could this be that will raise the eyebrows of the Americans?
Breaking tonight, President Obama, previously reluctant to use the word bomb to describe the Russian passenger jet crash last weekend, has now done so, saying a bomb may be to blame in the crash that killed hundreds of men, women, and children over Egypt. Almost immediately after this jet went down, the Islamic State terror group claimed responsibility, and U.S. intelligence has confirmed that it intercepted communications between ISIS fighters that suggest the Islamic State is behind what may be the worst terror attack since 9/11.
I wonder, what could this be that will raise the eyebrows of the Americans?
6 days since the deadly crash of a Russian airliner in Egypt, the U.S. and Britain insist the aircraft was blown up by an explosive device. Russia and Egypt reject the speculation, though. British Prime Minister David Cameron says it is very probable that the passenger plane was brought down by a bomb. U.S. President Barack Obama has also stated that Washington is taking the responsibility very seriously. Egypt and Russia, however, have criticized London and Washington over the claims which were made before an investigation is finished into the incident. Cairo and Moscow say they are wondering how the Western countries have arrived at the conclusion while an inquiry is still underway. Washington and London stand accused of promoting the speculation of a terrorist attack on the Russian airliner in an attempt to blame the tragedy on the Kremlin. Following the crash, a group affiliated to the ISIL or Daesh terrorist group in Egypt said it downed the plane in retaliation for Moscow's airstrikes in Egypt.